Hey YouTube, this is Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and you got Steve here for another mock draft for you guys. This will be the second position in the 12-man PPR league. So again, this is going to be the 12-man. Make sure you understand that, and PPR, so that way we give you guys some good analyst advice, I guess you would say, with everything going on. Obviously, preseason's happening, so that way we can give you some updates on there as well, and be prepared for the upcoming season. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell because we're going to start dropping our start and sits when the upcoming season starts as well. And of course, we're actually going to be doing a podcast. Follow us on our socials. You can always ask any questions you have, whether it be about drafting, what players to go after, trades, things like that. Hit us in our DMs. We're on Twitter, Instagram, whatever makes it easier. Or of course, comment down below. That always helps as well. If you do enjoy what you're seeing here, hit that like button. It always helps us and kind of grow our channel for everyone. And of course, if you don't like what you see, let us know about the draft. What would you have done differently? Are there certain players that maybe you're avoiding? Again, let us know. That way, again, we're here for you guys. I love doing this stuff, and that's what we're here for. So let's go jump right into it. We're in the second position. We did our first one already. We're going to make this real simple. We're going to go through all of this. And again, I'm going to go over my strategy of kind of what I feel is a great way to kind of help get you to the championship and hopefully win the whole thing for you guys. So let's get this started. Always, for me, I go running back. And this is where you're going to see some unique happening. So look, Kamara, CMC, Cook, Henry, you really can't go wrong with any one of those four in this particular area. I've seen, Christian McCaffrey go first, Cook. At this point, they're going to be a stud no matter what. For me, I like Christian McCaffrey a little bit better than I would say Cook or Henry. Interesting to see Barkley go a little this early. Barkley I've been seeing a little bit towards the end of the draft, or excuse me, the first round, just because of the uncertainty with his injury and how long he's going to be out. No surprise here, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, those two Chiefs are amazing. And then, of course, you see some mixture of some receivers in this spot. So 12-man does thin out your roster a little bit. You don't have as much depth, but you can still get some really good players. So I typically would like to go running back. For me, I'm going to go value. I've got to get the best player right now, and that is Justin Jefferson. Have a really good stud wide receiver there. So now you see Team 1 went 3 running backs, and sometimes some teams do that. I've actually done that before in the past because you got a nice little flex, maybe some trade bait, whatever works for you. For me, I want to round out my team. I want to have a good rounded team where I've got great players in every position and then obviously fill my depth. So for this, I would normally go after a George Kittle, but for me, I'm going to go after Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Got to get another good starting running back that's going to help you out for the rest of the draft because, again, you're going to start seeing them start to pile through, and you don't want to miss out on having another good RB2. I see a lot of mistakes happen where RB2s are far and few between. You don't want to be that guy, right? You don't want to back up. You want to get a good starting 2 running backs. So now we can fill out the rest of it, right? So now I can get a good tight end, maybe a good receiver, and look at some of these options. So if you look at wide receiver, I got Kupp, Woods, Thielen, some good options there. Tight end, you've got Mark Andrews, Hawkinson. For me, I'm actually going to go Mark Andrews here, get a good tight end. Because again, you're on the swing round. Don't be too worried about the receivers. I actually love Woods here, and that's who I would have picked as well in the 4th round, but I got him in the 5th round. All 4. I like Woods a little bit better than Kupp. I think there's going to be some great action. I love that they've got Matthew Stafford there. Both of those are going to only continue to succeed for this upcoming season. Kupp and Woods, you can obviously go back and forth. So now you start seeing some running backs. Now, this is one that you're going to look at a lot. A lot of people don't know what to do with the Jacksonville running backs. They're not really sure. Is Robinson going to be the guy? Is it Etienne? I mean, nobody really knows. I personally still think Robinson's going to be the guy, and I like where he's falling. You get a really good running back there. So let's fill out the rest of the roster. Got all my starters except for quarterback. At this point, I'm not going crazy with quarterback. I can wait a little bit. So now I want to fill some depth. I can go Chase Edmonds, who's a great option for Arizona. He does have some competition a little bit with Connor, but it's Edmonds' final year in his contract, and he's got a lot to prove. So I like Edmonds a lot. If you look at wide receiver, Devonta Smith, Juju, Chase Claypool, Sutton. So again, some of that depth starts to diminish, and that's okay. So for me, I actually like Chase Edmonds. I'll go with another good running back that would fill in some of my flex spots, and also, of course, fill in some of the bye weeks. That's very important. You want to make sure you fill that out. So you saw Devontae Smith go, Fant go, and for me, I actually will go Claypool over Juju. I like Claypool's upside. It's a lot higher than what you're going to see out of Juju, especially when they're playing 3 wide receivers. Claypool, if you saw any of the preseason games, Claypool's the big play guy, you know. Deontay gets a lot of the passes. Juju could be hit or miss. Juju could have an amazing game, and Juju could have kind of game, right? So I like Claypool a lot more. So running backs here is where it's unique, right? You see in a lot of the depth. You see a David Johnson, a James Conner, Kenyon Drake, Zach Moss. You see a lot of these. For me, not going for it. For me, I'm actually going to go Ryan Tannehill, fill the quarterback position, get a good quarterback that's going to help out with the addition of Julio Jones. That only amplifies what Tannehill can do for this upcoming season. I like him. He's going to easily finish in the top 8 as far as a fantasy quarterback. And I got him in the 8th round. Totally suited. Makes sense. So we've got 3 receivers. You can go 2 more receivers. And obviously I got 3 running backs. 2 more running backs. So you look at receiver options. You got Tyler Boyd, Antonio Brown, Will Fuller, Marquise Brown. Obviously Fuller is still dealing with his suspension. For me, I'm going to actually end up going to Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd, I like for Cincinnati. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. He's going to get a lot of balls his way. Even with the addition of Chase and obviously the up-and-coming Higgins, I still like Boyd. He's still a great option. And I didn't really lose out. He's a backup receiver that I can possibly get some good stats from, right? Only for fillers. So for me, I see some of the defensive teams going. I could see some people picking a little early. Now, I play also in individual defensive player leagues, and sometimes I do go a little early with, obviously, linebackers, who's really important. They can score a lot of points for you. For me, I don't quite go defense yet. So you can get a good defense typically later on. Or I've seen people just don't pick a defense and then pick them up later on in the season, right, when they need to. So I wouldn't go crazy about drafting them. Here, I'm looking at some wide receiver options. One of the wide receivers I like a lot is Curtis Samuel for Washington. He's got some big gameplay. Opposite of Terry McLaurin, it's only going to help. Look, as a Cowboy fan, obviously I don't want them to do well, but with Fitzpatrick there, I think they're going to only improve. So for me, I am going to go after Curtis Samuel. I think he's going to be really good. I'm going to pick up a good backup tight end. I'm actually going to end up going to Jonnu Smith over Hunter Henry just because Hunter Henry is going to, unfortunately, he deals with some injuries. And quite often, I'd rather go with a little bit of a safer pick in tight end forward as a backup. So I like Jonnu. You look at some of these other options like Evan Ingram, Zach Ertz. Not totally sold on those guys, so I like Jonnu Smith a little bit better. So we got one more. Let's see, we got 5 receivers, so we're kind of done with the receiver position. Now you look at some running back options, Jamal Williams or Phillip Lindsay. Both of these you can't go wrong. So if Jamal Williams could possibly get some shares, but I like Phillip Lindsay a little bit better. I think he's a better option than David Johnson, and he could easily see a lot more action. So for me, I actually like Phillip Lindsay a lot more. So we've got 4 running backs, and we'll go one more running back, and for me, that's going to be Latavius Murray. Look, here's the deal. Kamara's going to be a beast. That's why he was number 1, or he's at least in the top 4, right? But there's very, very little lack of weapons. I would not be surprised if Latavius Murray gets some of the goal line, or he plays the RB1, and you're seeing maybe Kamara in the slot, right? Doing a lot of the passes. Just a great option, man. Just think about those things, right? You think about what these game plans might look like, especially for a Saints team that is begging for some players. All right, let's pick some defense. So you look at some of these defensive teams. I like Denver. I like their secondary. It's probably one of the better secondaries in the league right now. And then we end up going kicker. I'll go pick my boy Greg Zuerlein, who is going to be awesome for the Dallas Cowboys to help score some points. And there you have it. That's kind of the draft there. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this team, what you think that there could have been some maybe improvements. Maybe I should have gone a different route. I feel really good about the starting lineup. Get some good depth, quarterback gameplay. Again, it's all about filling a strong overall team. Don't go too heavy in certain positions, guys. Don't go too heavy unless you can guarantee a trade's going to happen later on. But I feel really good about it, and that kind of gives you an idea of what's going to happen in the second position. You get a really stud running back, good stud receiver, and then kind of move the board around there. So if you guys think this was helpful and you guys are not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Again, comment down below if you guys have any other questions, or of course, if you felt there could be something a little different. Also, again, follow us on our timelines of Twitter, Instagram. Hit us in the DMs. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And of course, if you did really enjoy this, hit the like button. it helps. It really does. So I appreciate everybody that's watched this video, and I'll check you guys out next time.